Hello and welcome to Newsfeed, your daily dose of what people are talking about online, from news stories to what's trending. And we start with Spotify, which, as we all know, has been around for quite a while. And we've had to put up with it constantly changing its user interface. The platform's iconic and clean look inspired many and became an aesthetic in itself. Now the streaming giant is updating its homepage. It's the biggest change to its platform, and you guessed it, it's yet another TikTok-style vertical feed. You'll now see an endless stream of visual and audio previews of music, podcasts, and audiobooks when you open the app. There are more tools for content creators and an AI-enhanced smart shuffle, but the TikTokification of the platform is what everyone's talking about.
The idea is basically if you go to like the podcasts thing, instead of getting a bunch of album covers of podcasts, you're going to get actual like feeds of auto playing podcasts. They're big into video as a thing. They're big into big imagery now. The idea is to be much more sort of immersive and also like discoverable instead of just fighting to have better album covers. It's going to actually start to try to play you the most interesting bit of a podcast or a song or an audiobook and actually connect to you that way. So that's the sort of TikTokification of it all. Everything is much more full screen. It's auto playing. It's much louder. It's much more visual. And as far as I can tell, Spotify users hate this. So Spotify is now this big company that like can't stop losing money on music and is trying desperately to find other ways to make money. They've made this big bet on podcasts. They bought an audiobook company. They're trying to make live audio happen. And then you have Spotify users who just keep raising their hand being like, I just would like to listen to my music, please. Can you leave me alone?
Spotify is not alone in trying to catch the vertical feed trend. From e-commerce to social media, developers are now obsessed with including some sort of endless video loop on their apps. Reddit is the latest to include a separate watch feed.
How do we capture every waking second of people's attention and steal it back from TikTok? Because that's what everyone from YouTube Shorts to, I guess now, Spotify are doing. Can I just say that it's absurd that places like Etsy now have like a TikTok-type feed? Like, what am I ever going to need this for? Do you know how much you love those Netflix previews, the trailers that play out loud at blaring volumes when you're just trying to scroll?
As tech companies make moves to keep their platforms relevant, lest we forget the many apps that failed to stay relevant and are now but a distant memory in the Internet Wayback Machine. This next bit will a bit of a blast from the past as we look at some platforms that were once the hottest thing on the web but just couldn't keep up. Let's kick it off with pandemic darling Clubhouse. Live social audio during COVID-19 lockdowns were everyone's jam, but once things opened up in the real world again, the invite-only app struggled to maintain an audience. During its boom period, Clubhouse poached high-profile hires from Meta, Google, Spotify, and Netflix. It's reported that most of them have since left. Clubhouse is still alive and kicking, but not as strongly as before, and with a very small listener base. Industry insiders consider it a failed app. And what would TikTok be without Vine? 6-second video app Vine hit the market in 2013. At its height, it had more than 100 million people accessing it every month and was seen as a cultural touchstone. But Vine's parent company Twitter shut it down in 2017 as the app struggled to find ways to make money and react to the fast-changing landscape.
Vine was a social media app that allowed users to share 6-second videos with their followers. 6 seconds sounds very strict, but this restriction forced people to be creative and was a big reason why Vine was so unique. Vine was extremely popular back then. Many people believe it played a big role in shaping the social media landscape as we know it today. The Vine app was founded in June 2012 and was first released on the 24th of January 2013. Some of the most popular Vine accounts belong to celebrities such as Logan Paul, King Bach, Lily Pons, and Jerome Jair. These accounts had millions of followers and were responsible for creating some of the most iconic Vines ever made. Many speculated that Vine's decline was due to the rise of other social media apps, such as Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, which provided more features than Vine and allowed users to post longer videos. Vine and TikTok are often compared since both apps allow users to post short videos. However, there are some key differences between the two. TikTok has embraced influencers and content creators more than Vine ever did. it and encouraged users to create longer videos that take advantage of the platform's special features like filters and music. This feature-rich approach has made TikTok one of the most popular social media apps in the world today. Today, we can still find some classic Vines online. Many people credit Vine for inspiring future social media platforms such as TikTok. Without Vine, it's hard to say whether or not these popular apps would have existed.
The sudden failure of Silicon Valley Bank shook tech startups and the financial world. With an impending crisis that could have spread across both industries, U.S. financial regulators quickly introduced several measures to avert possible damage. And in the UK, the government hastily struck a deal with banking giant HSBC to buy Silicon Valley Bank's UK operations for just £1. Our business presenter Ludovica takes up the story.
Well, officials now say that the contagion risk is minimal, to the point that markets are rallying on the news that the US government has stepped in to help those depositors with an ad hoc facility. But is it true that the contagion risk is minimal right now? Because what we've seen yesterday, another bank in the tech sector imploding. Yesterday, we're talking about Signature Bank, once a big lender in the crypto industry. And today, again, First Republic Bank, a wealth manager, tumbling 60% in pre-market trading. Now, it is all very well to say that Silicon Valley Bank is no Bear Stearns, right? And any parallel with the 2008 financial crisis is too far-fetched. But at the same time, we know that the crypto sectors, the tech sectors, the startup sectors are really growth engines of the developed economies right now. So questions are rising as to how thoroughly, first of all, these startups conducted due diligence and whether this is rather a case of moral hazards. And so these startups choosing to deposit money in this bank just because it was a well-known bank before really checking its balance sheet. And two, although smaller, the tech sectors in other countries may suffer as well as a consequence. The UK tech sector seems shielded for now, as HSBC has bought SVB's British operations. But what about other tech sectors in other countries around the world? All questions that remain unanswered and that keep the tech sector and the rest of the markets with it on edge.
Few of us would have thought that a lawsuit between a voting systems company and an American cable network would be so explosive. But the revelations coming out of Dominion Voting Systems versus Fox News has been at times simply jaw-dropping. Here's Andy to explain.
The right-wing cable news network here in America, Fox News, is being sued by a voting machine company which claims that Fox defamed it in the 2020 presidential election with claims that the machines were rigging votes against Donald Trump. Well, that lawsuit goes before a court in April, but in the meantime, what everybody is talking about right now are private messages and emails, text messages sent by some of Fox News' biggest stars privately about Donald Trump, including this man, Tucker Carlson. You see him here on the left with Trump. Privately, he was telling colleagues that he hated Trump passionately and called him a demonic force and said that he couldn't wait for Fox News to stop talking about Trump. Well, the Twitterverse has exploded over all this. One poster writing to Fox News viewers, "How does it feel to be played like a violin?" And another poster, a former Republican congressman, saying that you're shocked by what Tucker Carlson said. Where have you been the last 7 years? Mentioning that he had Republican colleagues and those in the media who were privately disgusted by Trump, but praised him in public, as apparently some Fox News hosts have been doing. So far, no response yet from Fox News or from Tucker Carlson.
Hollywood's biggest night, the 95th Academy Awards ceremony, has come and gone, leaving behind a trail of unforgettable moments, jaw-dropping wins, and shocking upsets. Nick takes a look at Hollywood's most glamorous night.
The world's most famous glitterati and movie A-listers were out in force Sunday night for Hollywood's biggest night of the year. The talk show host and comedian Jimmy Kimmel opened the ceremony with a nod to Tom Cruise's Top Gun Maverick. In the most prestigious category, Best Picture, A24's Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was the frontrunner to win the award.
Mrs. Wang.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
With 11 nominations, many predicted the film would sweep the Academy Awards this year, and it duly delivered, winning the top gong.
Story is going. Movies are dreams.
In the category of Best Director, Steven Spielberg had a pretty good shot with The Fabelmans, as did Todd Field for the emotionally charged Tar.
How's the writing going?
Not so well.
But the directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, took the award home. History was made in the Best Actress category as Michelle Yeoh became the first Asian woman to win the gong. What a photo finish.
For all the little boys and girls who look like me watching tonight, this is a beacon of hope and possibilities.
Now, if I've done something to you, just tell me what I've done to you.
Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin and Austin Butler as Elvis were hot contenders for Best Actor, but they had to bow before Screen Actors Guild Award winner Brendan Fraser for his role in The Whale.
Think about that. Think about the truth of your argument.
Now, let's talk about Best Supporting Actor. This year had many strong contenders, but Ke Huy Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once sealed the deal with this line.
尽管离家让我心碎，我想告诉你，如果有来生，我还是会选择和你一起报税，开心一点。Mom, I just want an Oscar.
From the same movie, Jamie Lee Curtis was astounded to pick up Best Supporting Actress. And the German adaptation of the classic war novel All Quiet on the Western Front clinched Best International Feature with its timely anti-war message. Oscars 95 may have toned down the drama from Will Smith's outburst last year.
5 Irish actors are nominated tonight, which means the odds of another fight on stage just went way up.
But Asian Americans and clever one-liners stole the show.
Dreams do come true.
It certainly was a historic night, especially for Michelle Yeoh. Let's go to her home nation, Malaysia, and check in on how everyone is still beaming with pride. Here is Zen.
Oh my God, you don't know how the situation is in Malaysia right now. Everybody, all ordinary Malaysians are ecstatic. They are so happy, they are so proud to see a Malaysian going up on stage to receive one of the most prestigious awards in the film industry. Congratulatory messages are coming from all our national leaders, from ministers, from the Prime Minister to the sultans and kings. And yes, everybody is so proud of Michelle Yeoh. I think all of Malaysia can feel that excitement that her mother feels right now. Go onto Twitter, look for the trending hashtags, and you will see Michelle Yeoh trending. You'll see Malaysia Boleh, or it translated to English is Malaysia Can. This is trending right now on social media. Everybody, I cannot stress how proud Malaysians are right now. Just like what Michelle Yeoh had mentioned, that she hopes to inspire people, and we're hoping that this will inspire the film industry, not just in Malaysia, but the whole of Southeast Asia and Asia. Of course, there has been criticism against the Malaysian National Film Development Board because they've always had for a long time this road to the Oscars plan of getting a Malaysian film to win at the prestigious Academy Awards. And people are saying that Michelle Yeoh did it by herself with no help from the authorities. But hopefully, this will spur something in the film industry in Malaysia to do something for the future, because this brings attention to the country and to our region right now.
And that brings us to the end of our show. Find us on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. Bye and see ya.